The Magical Midnight Adventure of Ella and Thistle. Once upon a time, in the heart of a cozy little village called Willowbark Hollow, nestled between soft rolling hills and the shimmering willow stream, there was a secret that few knew. It was whispered among the trees and sung by the night breeze, but never written down. It was the secret of midnight mischief, the hour where the hollow came alive in a most unexpected way. The moon was full and bright, and a silvery glow poured over the hollow, making everything twinkle like stars had fallen to the ground. On this particular night, young Ella, a curious girl with a knack for adventure, could not sleep. She peeked out her window, enchanted by the moonlight, when she noticed something unusual. A flickering of tiny golden lights dancing through the forest edge, as if inviting her. Ella's heart skipped a beat. "Where are those lights going? Should I follow them?" she thought, biting her lip. What would you do if you saw mysterious lights beckoning you into a magical forest at midnight? Would you be brave enough to follow? Unable to resist her curiosity, Ella tiptoed past her sleeping parents and slipped out of her front door. The chill of the night tickled her toes as she hurried across the grass, her fluffy slippers softly crunching the dew-kissed leaves. She reached the forest edge, where the lights, which were indeed a cluster of glow-bugs, seemed to wait for her. They buzzed gently, each glowing softly in a gentle golden hue, lighting her way. "Where are you leading me, little ones?" Ella asked in a whisper, her voice full of wonder. The glow-bugs only flitted further, deeper into the woods, and Ella followed with wide, eager eyes. Soon enough, they arrived at a place Ella had never seen before, a gigantic willow tree with branches like thick curtains, swaying even though the air stood still. The bark seemed to glimmer, and at the base of the tree a door appeared, carved into the trunk. The glow-bugs hovered around the door, and as Ella stepped closer, she heard, or perhaps felt, a gentle hum. A welcome of sorts. She hesitated for a moment, but then the door creaked open by itself, revealing a spiraling staircase. Taking a deep breath, Ella followed the glow-bugs inside. The steps seemed to sing under her weight, a melody that made her feel as if she was stepping into a dream. At the bottom of the staircase, Ella found herself in an enormous room with a ceiling made of roots, like a woven dome. The glow-bugs flew ahead to reveal a sight she never imagined. A village under the roots of the willow tree, filled with tiny cottages, moss-covered bridges, and streams that sparkled like diamonds. Tiny creatures with pointy ears and fuzzy cloaks bustled about, each one with eyes as expressive as a storybook illustration, but proportionate and gentle, not too large or too small. One creature, a tiny squirrel-like being with soft chestnut fur and bright, intelligent eyes, approached Ella. He wore a hat made of leaves and introduced himself. "Greetings, young one. I'm Thistle, Chief Mischief Maker of Willowbark Hollow. We have been waiting for someone like you." Thistle's eyes twinkled with excitement as he continued. "There is a midnight mission that needs a brave soul. Would you help us, dear Ella? What do you think? Should Ella accept the mission? Who wouldn't want to be a Chief Mischief Maker, even if only for one night?" "Of course!" Ella exclaimed, intrigued by everything she was seeing. "What's the mission?" Thistle led Ella through the village, explaining as they walked. "The midnight mischief is our chance to spread happiness throughout the hollow. Tonight, we must bring joy to the forest creatures and leave gifts for the villagers so that they wake up with smiles. But we must be sneaky. The joy must come as a surprise." Ella's eyes lit up at the idea. She followed Thistle to a large table made of a tree stump where various other creatures, some that looked like hedgehogs with flower crowns, others like rabbits with acorn belts, worked together making small, glittering trinkets. "Look," Thistle said, showing Ella a golden acorn. "These gifts carry laughter. When opened, they release a giggle." Ella giggled herself at the thought of it. "And these," Thistle continued, pointing at silver bells, "make people remember their happiest memories." Ella helped them make the trinkets, tying tiny ribbons and adding her own touch to some, like weaving tiny braids of twine to make bracelets. When the clock struck midnight, Thistle looked at Ella. "It's time to bring the mischief. Are you ready?" "Ready," Ella whispered back, her heart racing. Ella and the Mischief Makers split up, each carrying baskets of joy-bringing trinkets. They tiptoed through the forest paths and down into Willowbark Hollow, ensuring they made no sound. Ella, with Thistle beside her, crept into the village. They went from house to house, placing golden acorns on doorsteps, hanging silver bells on the lowest branches of trees, and tucking tiny handmade trinkets into flower beds. Everywhere they went, the glow bugs led the way, lighting their paths like tiny lanterns. Ella's favourite moment was when they left a bracelet made of daisies on the windowsill of an old woman's cottage. "She loves flowers," Thistle whispered. "This will remind her of the garden she used to tend." Ella felt her heart swell. This wasn't just mischief, it was magic, pure and gentle, filling the air with love. As the first streaks of dawn began to tint the sky, Ella and Thistle made their way back to the great willow tree. "We must hurry," Thistle said. "The sun is almost up. Once it rises, the door closes until the next full moon." They raced through the woods, the glow bugs flickering faster as if urging them on. Ella's feet barely touched the ground as she ran, her laughter mixing with the soft hum of the forest waking up. They reached the willow tree, and just as the first ray of sunlight kissed the treetops, Ella leapt through the door. She stumbled, catching her breath, and realized she was back in her own room, standing by her window. Had it all been a dream? She looked out and noticed, right on the windowsill, a silver bell hanging from a branch. Ella smiled, her eyes twinkling. "Until next time, Thistle," she whispered. Ella knew that perhaps on the next full moon there would be another adventure waiting for her. And maybe, just maybe, if you listen closely and stay curious, you might also be invited to join the midnight mischief. What would you do if you were invited to bring joy and magic to those around you? Remember, the next full moon might just hold a surprise for you too.